Daisy, you put some thought into this all week because obviously the Carlton coaching position is up for grabs. At the moment, no one's really been able to get a grasp on it, what it looks like, how it's going to be. And we asked you early in the week, we said, would you put your hand up and consider coaching? And we thought, if you are going to apply for the coaching job at Carlton, what could you do to fix that football club and to get them back to the promised land and to make the Blues great again?
Yeah, just keeping in mind, Daisy does have his level 2. So
well, we need to preface this
chance.
conversation in case they are listening. Obviously,
are you putting your hand up?
Well,
is this an audition right here?
Look, take from it what you will. We'll go through the 10 steps, and if they see fit that I'm the best person for the job, if I put my hand up, I'm probably the only person for the job at the minute, let's face it, because everyone else is running the opposite direction. But
so Luke Sayers is listening. We need to get Luke Sayers listening now. So if anyone's out there knows Luke Sayers, just give him a call. Tell him to jump on and listen now to Triple M. Daisy's got his 10-point plan if he's going to coach the Blues.
I probably need to wait a few more weeks just in case he fires a few more in and around the footballing department who got rid of me just before I take over. But I could go Ari Gold style and just rolls in there with the old paintball gun and get some revenge on a few of them. But anyway, point one is if I'm the coach, this is point one of my 10-point plan, is to manage expectations. Now, for so long there's been a lot of talk, but I believe that if you lower the expectations, collectively, we'll all be less disappointed. Just a simple starting point there. You overachieve, you lower your expectations, then you overachieve, you look like a genius, and everyone feels good about themselves. Yeah. So you go back to 2013. Since then, the last final, they are the second least successful club outside of the Gold Coast Suns with only 3 more wins.
So you're saying instead of saying we expect to play finals next year, say we expect to finish bottom 4. And that way, if you finish bottom 4, that was the expectation. But if you finish above that, you've exceeded expectations.
Well, it's funny you should say that because that's point 2. Don't say the F word. I've had enough of it. Any player who says staff, board, etc., that says the word finals are to be heavily fined. And if they back it up, they're sacked on the spot. Done. You say finals, you're out the door. We're managing expectation, we're lowering them, and we're learning from our mistakes.
Not a bad start.
Which brings me to point 3. We've got to learn from the past. So the Teague train, we got these cute cliches. The Teague train, it was nice at the start. It was cute. Everyone was all aboard. Well, by the end of it, there was no passengers, and it was a runaway train stopping no stations to unemployment town. It was done. Brendan Bolton, green shoots.
Yep.
Yeah, well... Again, cute, nice. He went down the big slide, the big freeze is that, with the green shoots. It just proved that no matter how much manure or shit performance you put on that, those green shoots did not grow. So we're learning from that. We're not doing that. Point 4, I'm going to explain defence. And I'm going to go to that back line, that back 6, and tell them that defence is not the thing that separates you from the spectators. At some point, and I'm speaking of Doherty, the captain, I don't care, Sard, the big recruit, Stocker, Williamson, Newman, these blokes, I couldn't give a fat's rat's clacker. If you don't defend a man, you will be dropped because you have to defend if you play in a back line under me.
You think that's important?
I think that is important.
Revolutionising the game right there.
Well, look, we might have to go back and show them that the wheel is in fact circular, not square. My 5th point, and this one's slightly more of a serious one, but 4-quarter competitors. That's all I would ask for if I was coach, is to have blokes, because in my opinion, there's too many blokes in the football side at the minute at the Carlton Footy Club. It's conditional. When it's going well, it's going well, they play well. When it's going bad, for 10 minutes, for 5 minutes, for 2 minutes, it goes bad. And that doesn't let you win games of football. It's every game, every minute, every second, every contest stacked up. And it doesn't guarantee you're going to improve out of sight, but at least it gives you a chance. Point 6. And I know by now you're probably all sitting there going, oh, point 6, this is great, Daisy. But how are you actually going to get them to implement this? Because don't tell me that a Teague or a Bolton's come in with all their coaching credentials and hasn't done that, correct?
They've tried. They've tried.
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, Joey. Because
that wasn't a question.
How would you do it, Daisy?
Well,
how would you get them to put in a 4-quarter performance?
Well, it's all about passion and purpose.
Right.
So you need to understand people. This is what the great coaches do. They understand people. You look at Phil Jackson in The Last Dance, understanding a Dennis Rodman. So you got to find out what people's purpose are and why they play the game. And I could not give a stuff if it is the most selfish, self-indulgent reason of all time. If I go and see Harry Mackay and I say, Harry, what's your purpose? And he goes, I want to win the next 10 Coleman medals, which means he's going to kick a lot of goals. Perfect. Sam Walsh says, I want to win Brownlows. Zach Fisher says, I want to win.
Just want to get as much money as I can.
Exactly. If that's what drives you and that's what's going to mean you rock up every day and you put your best foot forward, well, then I'm completely fine with that.
And do they have to play, though, within the team constraints?
there's
or
obviously
just got to go out and kick there as many
No,
goals as
there's
they can?
obviously team rules around that, but that's how you inspire people. That's how you get them to deliver week in, week out. Really tap into what gets them going.
So if we look at the top 6, first of all is to lower expectations
Yep.
so you don't get
Has to be
disappointed.
done.
Can't mention the word finals.
No.
No
Definitely.
cute gimmicks. None of the cute gimmickies, the green shoots and the Teague train. Defence, understand what the defence is, and it's not keeping the spectators out. And then it got a bit serious, didn't it, Kate? A couple of real serious ones. 4-quarter competitors and some passion and purpose.
Passion and purpose sounds like one of those cliches that you said at point 3 wasn't one that you wanted to have. Sorry, I'm just putting my board member hat on and just getting a little bit of an interview going. But keep going,
This
Dave.
is why
We'll
Ross
let you
left
finish.
your football club. This is why Ross doesn't want the job, because of silly questions like that.
Righto, 4 to go. What else you got?
All right, so we're up to number 7. So this is sort of don't panic time. You've got the spine. Think about the spine at that footy club. Jones, you had that amazing stat that he got beaten in one one-on-one contest until about round 20.
Yep.
Wiedering should have been All-Australian, in my opinion. You got Walsh, who's arguably the best young talent we've seen since the Chris Judd. Curnow, who's coming back from some injuries but could be anything. And Mackay, the Coleman medalist. So there's no need to panic. You have a good spine and some good players there. So when you lower the expectation, they could still improve a lot and you could look like just a flat-out genius. Point 8, then you've got to recruit.
Yep.
So you might look and go, okay, well, Jones isn't the best fullback. So how do you go and recruit? Well, you've got to go and find the best players. You need a ruckman maybe, go and get Nick Nat. You want a good defender, go and get Mayo Lever. Point 9.
What?
Well,
That's easy.
Well, how do you do that? Well, you go and raid Raheen. That's what you do. You go and see Jeannie Pratt and you say, Jeannie, I need a blank check.
There's a salary cap, though.
Well, this is the thing. You know how I said we need to learn from the past? This
Yeah.
is one bit we don't need to learn from.
Go back to the past.
Go back to the past, because you look at when this side last played finals, there was a bloke called Chris Judd, and he had that much Visi cash coming out of his back pocket. He honestly could. His pants nearly fell off him. It looked like he was wearing a nappy. It was stuffed in everywhere. It was under the table. It was brown paper bag sort of stuff.
Yep.
And I'm here for it, because if that's what it takes to get the job done, we fans, boards, clubs, we want to win. We're in the business of winning. And then the 10th one, well, as a young coach,
Yep.
you need a mentor. And I thought, well, I had a bloke who coached me. I loved everything he did, Michael Malthouse. And I said to Mick, could you give me any bit of advice? And, well, this is what he came back with.
Now, Daisy, you want to know a little bit about coaching? One thing that you have to be is prepared. And unfortunately at Carlton, your preparation is to be ready to be sacked. That's your preparation.
That's
See
your
you, buddy.
mentor. That's your mentor
So
speaking.
my mentor said I've got to be prepared to be sacked. So in saying that, actually, after that 10-point plan, I'd like to remove myself from the race. I'm out.
You're out. You're out.
No more.
You don't
I'm
want to do
done.
it.
No, I'm
After
with Ross.
listening to your mentor, he said, don't do it.
That's it. That's the final straw. So I'm out, but yeah, take from that what you will.
Blackie, if you were on the coaching committee and you were looking to select a coach, how did Daisy go with that?
I think he was magnificent. He's get him in there. He's the man for the job. No question whatsoever.